On 31st July 2025, Donki's outlet in Sunway Pyramid closed its door. For good. Yes, you heard that right. This marks the third Donki outlet in Malaysia to shut down, all within just a year of operation. For those unfamiliar, Donki, or simply Donki, is a Japanese discount store giant offering everything from basic groceries to electronics and quirky lifestyle products. Founded in 1980 by Takao Yasuda, the brand became a household name in Japan during the early 2000s economic downturn, when shoppers embraced the promise of low prices and unique finds. Today, Donki operates over 500 stores in Japan and more than 100 outlets worldwide, with Japan consistently ranking among Malaysia's top trading partners, with trade reaching 14.9 billion ringgit in early 2023. Donki's entry into Malaysia seemed like a natural fit. The brand's motto, "Bringing Japan Closer," tapped perfectly into Malaysians' growing fascination into Japanese lifestyle, cuisine, and culture. When the first store opened, the signs of success were everywhere. Long queues, buzzing social media posts, and customers excited to grab authentic Japanese bargains. But beneath the early hype, cracks were forming. So how did a retail powerhouse that thrived in Japan stumble in Malaysia, a market that initially welcomed it with open arms? Let's first look into why Donki was successful in its home market in the first place. Donki's winning formula in Japan rested on two pillars. First one is Kakuya Yasu no Dendo, and this means the palace of amazing deals, where low prices kept shoppers coming back. And second is the treasure hunt experience, a deliberately dense, chaotic layout that turned shopping into an adventure. But when Donki translated this exact playbook into Malaysia, things didn't go as planned. Overexpansion without deep local market research revealed three core challenges. The first one being pricing challenges. Donki's promising of amazing deals crumbled under Malaysia's import realities, with import duties reaching up to 60%, plus a 10% sales tax, which is SST, on imported goods. Add currency fluctuations into the picture, those bargains became premium price products. In a country where Malaysians' average income is about 900 USD per month, it's less than half the Japanese average. And these prices alienated the budget-conscious shoppers Donki was trying to attract. And secondly, social factor differences in the home market and host market led to experience mismatch. In Japan, Donki's compressed merchandising strategy is loved by the people. Aisles packed tightly, products stacked to the ceiling, and surprises at every corner. But in Malaysia, shoppers value space and ease of movement. What was once a thrilling treasure hunt turned into what many describe as a stressful shopping obstacle course in Malaysia. In short, Donki's challenges weren't just about competition, they were about misalignment. The brand strength in Japan didn't translate seamlessly into Malaysia's unique political, economical, and social realities. To overcome the pricing challenges brought on by high import taxes, Donki made a bold move, repositioning itself as a premium Japanese specialty store. The reasoning was clear. If affordability could not be preserved in the host market, exclusivity could justify the price. And at first, the gamble seemed to pay off. Premium positioning played directly into Malaysia's growing fascination with Japanese culture. Limited edition snacks, seasonal imports, and authentic goods kept curiosity alive. Grand openings drew thousands, and hashtags like Don Don Donki trended on TikTok and Instagram. In those early months, Donki wasn't just a store, it was an event. Even malls benefited. In Sunway Pyramid, Donki, in its opening, acted as a reinforcer to pull visitors and boost overall foot traffic. But beneath the buzz, cracks begin to show. In Japan, Donki's identity was built on being the palace of amazing deals. In Malaysia, the pivot stripped away that core advantage. Prices now rival those of established premium groceries like Isetan and Ion, but without matching their spacious layouts or locally sourced value. Many shoppers started doing the math. A bottle of Japanese tea at Donki might cost 8 to 12 ringgit, but a similar drink could be found at Aeon or Daiso for half the price. The magic of the discount haven was gone. And then came the layout problem. The dense, chaotic merchandising strategy that worked in Japan felt cramped, stressful, and overwhelming for Malaysian shoppers, accustomed to open, navigable aisles. The treasure hunt experiences became, for some, a shopping obstacle course. In Japan, Donki's formula was simple. Low prices plus fun chaos meant repeat visits, sometimes daily. In Malaysia, however, high prices plus chaos crampedness meant occasional visits, usually when friends or family were in town. This strategy from Donki to solve its international marketing challenge is short-lived and overall it is ineffective. Therefore, several recommendations are provided. Firstly, a hybrid sourcing model. With 30 to 40% of products from Malaysia or ASEAN, would slash import duties without losing the made in Japan appeal. This is a classic example of adaptation. By modifying the supply chain, it meets the local market constraints without diluting brand identity. The same principle applies to pricing strategy. Donki could amplify value perception through mix and match bundle deals. For example, any 3 Japanese snacks for just 10 ringgit. This move speaks directly to the price-conscious Malaysian market mindset. Here, adaptation is not about changing the product, but about altering the pricing mechanism to suit local value perceptions, which differs from Japan's impulse buy culture. On the other hand, instead of persisting with a one-size-fits-all store format, Donki could have introduced a tiered structure. For example, premium flagships could be placed in high-traffic malls would retain the fully standardized Japanese shopping experience, catering to tourists and local enthusiasts seeking authenticity. This speaks why the 2 remaining Donki store in Malaysia, which is Lot 10 and Mid Valley, is still open because it is mostly tourist area. Meanwhile, smaller Donki minis in suburban mini neighborhoods could adopt a more spacious, curated layout, aligning with local shopping norms. By selectively adapting physical formats while keeping core brand elements such as the electric product mix and playful merchandising consistently, Donki could have struck the optimal balance between global brand consistency and local market responsiveness. This hybrid strategy would not only address the same mismatch in store experience, but also embody the very essence of standardization versus adaptation theory, retaining what defines the brand while reshaping what determines local acceptance. In the end, Donki's Malaysian journey serves as a reminder that international success is rarely a simple matter of copy and paste. The brand's initial reliance on standardization, replicating Japan's pricing structure, store layout, and sensory overload merchandising, preserved authenticity but failed to align with Malaysia's economic realities and social shopping norms. High import duties, a weaker average income, and cultural preferences for space over clutter expose critical gaps between intent and impact. The key takeaways are clear. First, global brand equity is valuable, but it must be balanced with local market adaptation to remain relevant. Second, pricing and sourcing strategies must be sensitive to local purchasing power, with tools like hybrid sourcing, value bundling, and loyalty programs bridging the affordability gap. Third, store formats and layouts are not just aesthetic choices, they are cultural signals, influencing comfort, dwell time, and ultimately purchase behavior. Ultimately, the Donki case underscores a central truth in international marketing. Consistency builds brand identity, but flexibility builds market acceptance. By blending the non-negotiable elements of its Japanese DNA with thoughtful adaptations to Malaysia's economic and social landscape, Donki could have transformed from a one-time novelty into a sustainable retail favorite. In the global market space, the winners are not those who simply bring their world to new customers, but those who bring their world in a way new customers can truly make their own. That is all. Thank you.